Hello, my friends. First of all, welcome to my channel. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel where you can improve your English with simple stories. Enjoy watching all of you. Chapter 1. The Beginning of a Legend. Robin Hood was born in the small village of Locksley in England during the medieval period. He was a kind and generous young man who loved adventure. His father was a nobleman, but after his death, Robin lost his land and wealth. He saw how the rich treated the poor unfairly and decided to do something about it. Robin became an outlaw, living in Sherwood Forest with a group of loyal followers. They called themselves the Merry Men and made it their mission to help the poor. Robin Hood was an expert archer and could shoot an arrow with incredible accuracy. He wore a green cloak to blend into the forest and moved swiftly like a shadow. Chapter 2. The Evil Sheriff of Nottingham. During this time, King Richard the Lionheart was away fighting in the Crusades. In his absence, his greedy brother, Prince John, took control of England. Prince John and his ally, the Sheriff of Nottingham, were cruel rulers. They increased taxes and made life difficult for the poor. Those who could not pay were thrown into prison or had their homes taken away. Robin Hood could not stand to see the suffering of innocent people. He and his merry men decided to steal from the rich and give to the poor. They ambushed wealthy noblemen traveling through Sherwood Forest, took their gold, and distributed it among the villagers. Chapter 3. The Merry Men and Their Adventures. Robin Hood was not alone in his mission. He had a group of brave and loyal friends. Little John, a tall, strong man who was Robin's second in command. Friar Tuck, a kind and humorous monk who loved food and enjoyed a good fight. Will Scarlet, a skilled swordsman and storyteller. Maid Marian, a noblewoman who loved Robin Hood and secretly helped him fight against injustice. Together, they planned daring raids, escaped from dangerous traps, and outsmarted the sheriff's soldiers. The villagers admired Robin Hood and often warned him about the sheriff's plans. Chapter 4. The Archery Contest. The Sheriff of Nottingham was determined to capture Robin Hood. He knew that Robin was the best archer in the land, so he came up with a clever plan. He organized an archery contest in Nottingham, offering a golden arrow as a prize. The sheriff hoped that Robin Hood would not be able to resist such a challenge. Robin Hood disguised himself as a poor farmer and entered the contest. He easily defeated all the other archers. When he shot an arrow straight through the center of the target, the sheriff recognized him and ordered his soldiers to seize him. But Robin's merry men had already prepared an escape plan. They created a distraction, and Robin Hood managed to flee into the forest once again. Chapter 5. The Sheriff's Revenge. The Sheriff of Nottingham was furious after Robin Hood escaped. He increased the number of soldiers searching for him. The forests were no longer safe, and Robin and his merry men had to be extra careful. The sheriff also punished villages that supported Robin Hood, making life even harder for the poor people. One night, Robin and his men planned a daring mission. They sneaked into Nottingham Castle to free prisoners who had been unjustly arrested. It was a risky plan, but Robin Hood was determined. With careful strategy and teamwork, they managed to rescue many villagers and escape without being caught. Chapter 6. The Return of King Richard. One day, news arrived that King Richard had returned to England. He had heard about Robin Hood and the sheriff's cruelty. The king disguised himself as a traveler and visited Sherwood Forest. When he met Robin Hood, he saw that the outlaw was not a criminal, but a hero fighting for justice. King Richard confronted Prince John and the Sheriff of Nottingham. He restored order, punished the sheriff, and reduced the heavy taxes on the poor. As a reward for his bravery, the king pardoned Robin Hood and his merry men, allowing them to live freely. Chapter 7. The Final Years of Robin Hood. After receiving the king's pardon, Robin Hood continued to protect the people of England. He and his merry men still helped those in need, but they no longer had to hide in the forest. They settled in small villages and enjoyed a time of peace. However, as the years passed, Robin Hood grew older. His adventures were fewer, and his legend grew across the land. People told stories of his bravery, his skill with a bow, and his loyalty to justice. Even the children of England played games pretending to be Robin Hood and his merry men. One day, Robin Hood received a message from an old friend. It was a trap set by an enemy who still wanted revenge. Robin was wounded in the fight, but managed to escape to a secret hiding place. Maid Marian and his closest friends stayed with him, but his injuries were too severe. Before he passed away, Robin Hood took his bow and shot one last arrow into the sky. He told his friends to bury him where the arrow landed. To this day, many believe that Robin Hood's grave is somewhere in Sherwood Forest. Chapter 8. The Legacy of Robin Hood. Even though Robin Hood was gone, his legend lived on. The people of England never forgot his courage, kindness, and fight for justice. His story was told from generation to generation, and even today, he remains one of the most famous heroes in history. Many books, plays, and movies have been made about Robin Hood, keeping his spirit alive. His legacy continues to inspire people to stand up for what is right, help those in need, and fight against injustice.